Good morning, everyone. Welcome to my live stream. It's Sunday morning here, and our local time is 6:26 a.m. So thanks for joining, dear viewers. This class is mostly designed for the IELTS candidates as well as the normal speakers who would like to develop their speaking, reading, and writing, who would like to develop their listening as well. If you think that this may be helpful for you, this may be a fruitful lesson, you're welcome to join me. What you have to do is you have to hit on the sign up button, and possibly you might be able to get 2 free lessons, or you are interested to subscribe for the whole month, you are more than welcome. At the moment, the cost of the whole month is $16 and other advantages are I go on many times public live stream. You can join those live streams freely, where you will have the opportunity to talk, to practice your spoken English, and meet other fellow students. And also, as you might be aware, that practice is the key factor to develop your English language, especially spoken English. More or less, we have got the plan to be a good speaker, a fluent speaker. But sometimes we don't know how to do that. We learn all these strategies, rubrics, and tips and guidelines. Please bear in mind that practice is the key factor, and no one can be successful without practicing. Practice gives you progress. Practice increases your confidence level. Hello, Prakash. Welcome. Thanks for the subscription. If you've got time, please join me. I've invited you. Hello.
Hello.
Can you hear me? It looks like I lost you. So I've invited you. If you're free, you are more than welcome to join me. So dear viewers, this type of lessons always start on time, finishes on time. If you're subscribing for a trial lesson or trial classes, bear in mind that you'll get only 2 free lessons. And after that, if you consider to subscribe more, you're more than welcome. You have to spend your money. All right, and as soon as you have subscribed, you have been added to a chat group, and when your subscription is over, definitely you'll be removed from the chat group automatically. Okay, so another person has subscribed. Let me see who else is here. Prakash and Solanki. Okay, welcome, Solanki. And Prakash, if you're free, join me. If not, that's fine. So the students of these classes are Vrinda, Amy, Bila, Hala, Sandhya, Mohammed, Prakash, Salanke. If you're here, you're more than welcome to join me. Okay. So let's move on. So this is cue card, and these are the criteria for the marking. And however, all over the speaking part or spoken English part of IELTS exam are marked on this basis. Today we're going to describe all of them: fluency and coherence, lexical resources, then grammatical range and accuracy, and pronunciation. As you can see, each of this part has got 25% marks of the exam. So even if you've got the best accent or pronunciation, you get only 25% marks. But if you're not fluent, if you don't have enough lexical sources, applications, or if your grammar is not correct, it is going to impact you. It's going to lower your score. Okay, so let's focus on fluency, and after that there is a video from the British Council we can share. So what do you understand by fluency? Okay, okay, so according to the Cambridge Dictionary, fluency means the ability of an individual to write and speak well and quickly. And in IELTS exam, the word fluency describes, to speak on a rhythm without being repetitive, without stopping anywhere. And also, it doesn't include your lexical resources or grammar or pronunciation. It is only the speed, the rhythm, the way you talk. Though sometimes some people think that pronunciation and your speaking is nothing but your own accent. That is more or less true though, but picture it, if you can't pronounce word correctly, how you're going to develop your own accent. As you might be aware, in the IELTS exam, there is no marking for having accent or not. is the pronunciation that matters. Okay, so when we'll come at the matter pronunciation, we'll explain a little bit more. So fluency is the fast part, fluency and coherence. Coherence means when you're explaining a topic, which discuss or describe step by step, one sentence is linked to another and only about the topic, which means that we can't just describe in a different way. Let me give you an example in an easy way. When we are using a stairs or staircase, step, right? Step, first step, second step. So similarly, or likewise, when you're explaining any topic, we follow those steps. We follow one linking sentence or word to another one. Okay, and that's very important. Being an IELTS speaker, it's not only a speaker. I believe that if you're sitting for a job interview or any other interview or scholarship, maybe for a visa interview, job, for any other interview where you have to demonstrate your spoken English, it's better to use these steps and follow them, which will help you, to be successful in many cases. Okay, so we are going to show you a video from the British Council where it will be elaborated a little bit more. So fluency and coherence is one of the 4 criteria for the IELTS exam. Let me show you the video.
So, you've decided to take the IELTS exam. Congratulations! Success starts with IELTS. The speaking test is divided into 3 sections. Part 1 is the introduction and general questions. Part 2 is the long turn, and Part 3 is an analytical discussion. It's important to understand the criteria on which you will be tested in the IELTS exam. First, we consider the criteria of fluency and coherence. This is one of 4 criteria on which you will be tested. We'll cover the other 3 in later videos. Fluency and coherence refer to your ability to speak at length, including organizing ideas logically and appropriately signposting. It also refers to your ability to express and justify opinions and to discuss and speculate about issues without long pauses or repetition of the same words. Signposting is the use of words or phrases that indicate the direction of your thoughts. We will give you some examples of this in a moment. Many students try memorizing.
Welcome, Bila. Can you hear me?
Hi, Mr. Rahat. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. Would you like to tell me a little bit more about yourself?
Yes, I'm Bila. I'm from Indonesia.
And may I know what you do?
I am working.
As a?
I'm working in F&B.
What does it mean?
F&B, Food and beverage, it's more like barista and something like that.
Okay. And how long have you been working?
It's about 6 months.
And before that, were you working elsewhere?
Pardon?
Before this job, did you work elsewhere?
No, before this, I haven't.
Is this your first job?
Pardon, Mr.
Is this
Rahat?
is this your first job?
Yes, yes,
Okay.
yes.
And how is your experience about the first job?
The what, Mr. Rahat?
Can you hear me clearly?
Uh, it's raining here, so I I'm trying to. It's raining here, so
So you can't hear me clearly.
now I can hear clear.
You can hear me clearly. Okay. Because you're asking same question twice. That's why I thought maybe
Yes.
you can't hear me clearly.
Yeah.
Okay. So uh, this job is the first time you're doing in your life, right?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Before starting this job, what were you doing?
Um, studying.
Studying where and what did you
Uh,
study?
yeah. In the high school. I'm studying about history and geography.
Only history and geography?
The specific, because there's two different of class. There's more
You've got a phone call. Attend the call.
science and physics. I'm sorry, Mr. Rahat.
I think maybe you can't hear me, whatever I'm saying.
Yes, so
Hello?
I'm studying more to history and geography.
So in your school you studied history. Not history, history. This is, yeah?
Yeah,
We don't say history in English. It
yeah,
is history
history.
and geography.
Yes.
Did you also study physics? I heard you are saying physics.
No, uh, no, I am not. I'm not studying physics or else like biology, because I'm a different class.
Okay. All right.
Yes.
So how is your experience in this job first time?
How my experience in this job?
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty challenging for me because I learn new things. I never experienced before. I learned many things from the senior that work there. So yeah, and I um, more open-minded to speak to people there because as my job. So yeah, it's developing me.
Okay, in every job you have to learn something new. Do you know that?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, and how many hours you work in a day?
It's a shift work part time actually. If I work at the morning like at 8, then I will be home like 4. Then if I um come at the afternoon, I can get home at night for the closing store.
Okay, but still I'm not sure how many hours you have to work.
8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 8 hours.
You work 8 hours in a day.
8 or 9. Yes.
Mm-hmm. And
Yeah.
how many hours you work in a week?
Um, times. Um, Sometimes in a week I have 5 days. Sometimes I have week in 6 days. So it will be around 40 hours.
You have got a phone call.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
No worries. You can attend the call. That's fine. It must be something urgent. You never know, and I don't know either. Okay, so you work roughly 40 hours in a
Think
week, which means it is a full-time job. It's not a part-time job.
I have to call someone, Rahat. I'm sorry.
No worries.
Thank you for having me. I'm
Anytime.
sorry.
You don't have to say I'm sorry. That's fine. Okay, guys, let's move on about the video we were discussing earlier. Fluency and coherence. This is one of the criteria of IELTS exam, that how you can speak well about a topic. So let's move on.
So, you've decided to take the IELTS exam. Congratulations! Success starts with IELTS. The speaking test is divided into three sections. Part 1 is the general questions, Part 2 is the long turn, and Part 3 is an analytical discussion. It's important to understand the criteria on which you will be tested in the IELTS exam. First, we consider the criteria of fluency and coherence. This is one of 4 criteria on which you will be tested. We'll cover the other 3 in later videos. Fluency and coherence refer to your ability to speak at length, including organizing ideas logically and appropriately signposting. It also refers to your ability to express and justify opinions and to discuss and speculate about issues without long pauses or repetition of the same words. Signposting is the use of words or phrases that indicate the direction of your thoughts. We will give you some examples of this in a moment. Many students try memorizing large portions of speech to repeat during the speaking test, but this can add unnecessary stress and sound unnatural. We don't recommend this approach. Here are a few tips to improve your speaking test performance. As you are speaking about a topic, build on your point of view by adding a few details. For example, if the question is, "What do you do?" rather than responding with, "I am a teacher," you might expand this to, "I have been a high school mathematics teacher in New York for over 5 years." For part two of the test, use the bullet points on the task card to help you structure your long turn and make notes in the 1 minute that's given using key words. In part three, particularly, it is important to develop your answers and to speak at length. You can do this by thinking of reasons, effects, comparisons, supporting examples, and personal experience. Just make sure you are signposting what you say. For example, discussing excessive TV watching, you might mention reasons, increasing numbers of TV channels compared to a generation ago, and the popularity of TV characters. Effects, increasing obesity levels, eyesight problems, and other health issues. Experience, my nephew watches nothing except cartoons. He will not study. Here are some examples of signposting for part three of the test. Compare contrast. In my view, there are two main differences. Responding to a point. Yes, I agree because, or I'm not sure I agree with that. You see, speculating on the future. I think we'll probably see a lot of, or maybe there'll be more, or it's unlikely that we will have. Practice is the key to increasing your fluency. There are no shortcuts. Practice using English in everyday communication as much as you can. Record yourself talking about different subjects. Then play it back and listen for linking expressions, hesitation, words you may be repeating, and times when your speech is slow. This will help improve your fluency. The assessment criteria is the only thing on which you will be tested. You will not be assessed on your appearance, body language while speaking in the exam, or your creative ideas. IELTS examiners are very consistent with their application of the IELTS assessment criteria. It is the same assessment given everywhere in the country and everywhere in the world. For more information, please see the other speaking test videos, lexical resources, grammatical range and accuracy, and pronunciation.
Okay, there we are. Say fluency and coherence. I'm sure you have got some information from this video, and that's really uh, clear and understandable for each and every person. Bear in mind that if you don't follow this technique or this rubric, it is not possible for you to achieve your required score, your targeted score in other way, uh, because IELTS exams are so well organized and well conducted around the world. The criteria is same wherever you are sitting for the exam. It doesn't matter even if you sit for the exam in the Western countries or from the country of your origin or any other test center. So basically, they have to follow this standard. Okay. So fluency and coherence, as you see, few things the videos highlighted. Number one, that you have to talk with the speed, not that much high speed or not that much slow, and not giving a big pause. That means not stopping for a long time. You can stop, but there is a you know, time, and there is a limitation. Do not stop more than 3 to 5 seconds when you're thinking to express yourself about a topic or link the idea with the sentences. Then without being repetitive. So what does it mean? I have noticed in many occasions, many of our learners or many students who are really good at speaking, but they're repetitive in their explanations. Like they use very often the common words or like a. So like is one of the common repetitive words. Okay, so this one, and also I've seen many occasions they use these words very, maybe they're not aware that they're using it actually. They're using actually for every sentence, even whether it is needed or not. Remember that using actually for no reason is really not relevant. It will devalue the quality of speaking. Why you have to use the word actually? We need to understand first. So in IELTS exam, do not be repetitive if you want to have good score in the speaking section. Okay, do not use, we call it fillers. So these are the fillers. We fill your gapping with this kind of repetitive word. And the third common repetitive word they use is you know what. You know what, okay? You know what. Yeah. And other repetitive words are well. Okay. So they use like, actually, you know what, well. I've seen few other repetitive words, but bear in mind that you shouldn't use any kind of repetitive words in IELTS exam. You can use it in a normal conversation, a formal or informal conversation either, but not in IELTS exam, not in any certificate exam, where the examiner will assess your quality of speaking, your fluency and coherence. Okay, the first criterion. So you got to be very careful. Now, how can you remove it? This is the challenging part. The matter is that you have practiced these words maybe many years. Now it will be difficult for you to control over it. But controlling is very important in IELTS exam about your speaking. And if you're trying to describe a topic, and some occasions I've seen some of our learners, they use one adjective to describe a topic, then use another one which is not relevant, and where it seems the sentence is incomplete or incorrect. For example, I'm just giving an example. One of the students was saying, I feel strongly, I think, I feel strongly, I proud, something like that. Remember that I feel strongly, you have started a sentence, now you're bringing another sentence in halfway, where in IELTS criteria it will be deemed as an incorrect answer or incomplete answer because you're trying to bring two different ideas in the same time. Okay, so it's better for you to organize your thoughts before you try to speak. And that is what it says in the video, that organize your thoughts and speculate about the topic, what you're going to say. And one important matter of IELTS exam or any other presentation is that be careful about using the tense. And you should learn tense properly and correctly. If you know how to use tense in a correct way, I should say you have learned 80% of English grammar, because tense is related to the different branches of English grammar. Okay, and now my question is, if you like to use like or actually or you know what or well more than once, what you have to do? Or if you like to use an adjective more than once, what you have to do? So these parts are related to the lexical resources. We're coming back there very soon. But remember, guys, if you want to use the same words more than once in a discussion or a topic, use the synonyms, use the different kinds of lexical resources, which is why I always suggest that when you learn a word, try to learn the word family, synonyms, and maybe antonyms, which may be used in some cases when you're giving negative, concept or negative, explanation of the word. You need to know antonyms. Let me give you an example how we can use the negative thoughts, which may be positive. Okay. For example, I do not want to go there. Want to? No, this is a negative sentence, obviously. Okay, so what would be the similar sentence without changing the meaning? Okay, so look at the sentence pattern. I don't want to go there. It's a present simple negative sentence. Now, if you want to make it in a different way, if you want to tell it in a different way, uh, sometimes people say that I've changed my mind. That means I don't want to go there. Okay, so I don't want to go there. I've changed my mind. Similar meaning. Or you can say, my plan is different. Or you can say that I do not wish to go there. Another negative. So these are some of the examples. Sometimes you need to use similar types of pattern or English sentence, but without changing the meaning. So you have to organize quickly because you don't have much time in your speaking section. You'll get maximum 5 seconds pause or break before you try to express yourself. Okay, so this is very important, fluency and coherence. Once again, if you've got any question about the fluency and coherence, you are more than welcome. You're more than welcome. If you've got any questions about fluency and coherence, you are more than welcome to ask me. Okay, the second part, as you can see, lexical sources, and we're going to give some more highlights. And before that, I'd like to describe more about the fluency. If you bear me a moment, please. So I'm going to share some speaking tips which I have described. Fluency. Okay, so fluency and coherence refers to the ability to talk with normal levels of continuity, rate, effort, and to link ideas and language together to form coherent, connected speech. The key indicators of fluency are speech rate and speech continuity. It doesn't measure your grammar. It doesn't measure your pronunciation. It doesn't measure your accuracy or your, you know, I should say, interactions of different ways. But it only measures how well you can present yourself, not too fast, not too slow, as I say every time. And clarity. When you're talking, you must be speaking clearly. Do not mumble. Do not speak in a low tone. Okay, and talk loudly. Obviously, if you don't talk loudly, if you can't express well, clearly, if your examiner can't hear you, there is no way examiner can assess you your quality of English. As I said, do not speak too fast or do not too slow. Do not rush. It means that some people have the trend of speaking so fast. It could be in the impact of the mother tongue, but it should be avoided in this IELTS speaking. If you say something and if your audience doesn't understand, if your examiner doesn't understand, there is no reason for speaking that way. Okay, so what happens when you're speaking fast? Number one, you're not pronouncing the words correctly. Number two, you're missing words. It could be verb, it could be an adjective, it could be a noun. And if you're speaking fast, you're just mispronouncing the words. You're jumbled up with other words. So obviously it will have impact on your speaking. Okay, so do not rush. Speak in a slow, not slow, in a medium or average speed. Next one is if you have, remember, not without big pause or repetition. So maintain now the pause, 3 to 5 seconds gap. What does it mean? Say you're describing about a topic, global warming, and you've started speaking like global warming is the feature or the topic that describes how hot the planet Earth, the global. Then you stopped for 1 second, 2 seconds, 3 seconds, 4 seconds, 5 seconds, and started speaking. It is how the whole world, Earth is getting hotter. And sometimes, as a human being, we don't know the reason. But there are some reasons. Then you stopped for few, 1 second, 2 seconds, 3 seconds, 4 seconds, 5 seconds. Again, you started speaking. So if you stop like this often, or if you are engrossed in thinking, hey, what I'm going to talk, I don't know the vocabulary now, I don't know the grammar. Now you're observing thinking, but you're not talking. Then you're not fluent at all. Remember that. If you pause for one time is fine, but if it is 2 times and 3rd times, then it will affect on your score because you're not fluent in that case. The examiner will assess you. You are not a fluent speaker in that case. But we all want to be fluent speakers, right? That's our focus. That's our plan. So how we can overcome? Rule number 1, find out the speaking partner. Talk to the person. Rule number 2, make it as a regular habit every day. The way we eat food, drink water, we go to sleep. So, in order to develop your speaking, make it a habit. Make it a good practice, a routine where you will have the opportunity to develop your own skill. Okay, and do not be repetitive, as I've said earlier. Like you know what, or use actually, yes, no, something like that, or well, you. These are some repetitive words. Just use once, and if you need to use again, use synonyms or different expressions which are almost similar. Okay, and and I was going to say something more about the fluency. A fluent person has good practice, so practice every day. And I'm sure all of you have, audio phone or the smartphone where you can record your voice. Choose a topic, okay? Then start speaking at least 2 minutes. At least 2 minutes, which means that you can speak more, but at least 2 minutes. Keep a timer or watch and speak at least 2 minutes and record it. And when you finish recording, now listen to your conversation from the mobile phone. And what happens? You'll be surprised sometimes. You'll be shocked as well. Oh, is this mass bias? Looks like someone else is speaking. It happened to me as well. So listen to your own, recording very carefully, and I'm sure you'll be able to find your own mistakes. Sometimes you can amend it. You'll be able to find out some mistakes of pronunciation, mistakes of grammar. But if you are not able to find it, that is really a challenging question for you. How you can get help? Obviously, you have to subscribe to a teacher, competent teacher, or any person who is, knowledgeable about the topic, who can help you. It could be a student as well. Remember that you can learn from anyone, and there is nothing wrong to learn. You say, I learn many things from many students, and many Hello students are really amazing. They teach lots of good things. Okay, so that's the next one for the fluency, and I'm trying to find out which one is related to the topic. Yeah, stick to the point. Coherence. Describe step by step and only about the topic. Do not bring any unnecessary topic or irrelevant any point. So remember that unnecessary or irrelevant means you're saying something else. Like you have been asked, what's your name? Now we are telling the names of your friends or family members. That is not relevant as well, okay? You're not talking about the topic. So in IELTS exam, understanding a question is one of the important and major factors to get good scores. Because in many occasions I have seen that our learners sometimes fail to understand the simple question. Okay, and remember that it's just an exam, so you shouldn't be nervous, you shouldn't be under pressure, or you shouldn't be shaky or too much thoughtful. Just take it as a normal exam and answer it. All right. Then talk as much as you can. That is the very important matter. Always make sure to talk as much as possible, even if you are shy or sheepish, and if you're under pressure and nervous. If you do not speak, you cannot be marked. You'll be given a lower band score. So you must talk as much as you can for your best results. Speak naturally. What does it mean? Very often I've seen that people are trying to talk in a different pronunciation, I should say accent, and they are ended up having fake accent. Guys, remember, accent is not a factor in IELTS exam. It is the pronunciation, which is really important for you to get good score, and which is why we suggest to speak naturally. Okay, so what does it mean? Be your own personality. That's your identity, the way you speak. If you pronounce the words correctly, if you speak naturally, it won't affect your score. I've seen many of our learners have got their natural speaking. They've got good scores. They got 7.5, 8.5 even. Some of my students scored. So it's really amazing. Okay, and use correct intonation, speak articulately. So those are the part of phonetics. We'll describe the part of phonetics or pronunciation in that part. Use correct context, collocation, connotation. That's really amazing part. If you know a word but you don't know how to use it correctly, or you don't know how to make sentences, then there's no point learning the word because you can't use it. So my suggestion would be when you're learning a word, learn the word family. So word family is the term we say and explain when you're learning a word, or what are the other possible words from the same root word. And I give very often an example of beautiful, like from beautiful you can say beautifully, then beautification, beautifying, beauty. Okay, noun. We can make these adjectives can be made into adverb, noun, gerund, or continuous form. Okay, so these are the basic techniques of fluency and coherence. Okay, so let's move on. And the band descriptors which you can find from internet, from the British Council, how you can get band score 9. And very often students ask this common question: is there any pass or fail mark in IELTS exam? No, there is no pass or fail mark. It is the banding that will assess your quality of English, which is needed for the individual organization, or if you're planning to study, the individual educational institute. Okay. So, dear viewers, once again, you're watching the live stream from the UK, and our local time is 7:18. Our class is going to be finishing soon. If you're interested to join, once again, click on the hit up button or subscribe button. Possibly, you might be able to get 2 free lessons. And if not, if you think that these classes would be helpful for you, you can subscribe to me. My success rate for the IELTS exam is quite, I should say, impressive. And all of my students got their record scores, except a few students. Remember that there are always exceptions. Okay. I've used this word helpful. What are the other synonyms? What are the other synonyms for helpful? Kind, considerate, supportive, thoughtful, cooperative. If you think that these classes are supportive for getting your good score, you are more than welcome. Subscribe to me. Okay, another important matter about the IELTS exam is that using formal and informal words. Okay, in speaking part, please make sure do not use any informal expressions or slangs like wanna, guana, hapta, lotta, what's up. Okay, it will affect your score. Once again, I'm repeating, do not use wanna, okay, gonna, what's up, lotta, gotta, etc. This kind of expressions. Okay, it will affect your score once again. Using contractions like this, which are informal and sometimes uh, regarded as a slang, is really bad in IELTS exam, because IELTS exam is a formal you know, and environment or place where you have to demonstrate your English language by using it correctly. Okay, so it is better for you, for your own understanding and development, to get good score. Everyone wants to have a good score. Okay, right. So these are the. Hang on a second. Let me see. You have missed anything with the coherence and fluency. Okay. So once again, dear viewers, thanks for watching in incognito mode and silently. Okay, and you're more than welcome to join me whenever you're free. And as a matter of fact, I'm going to play the same video one more time so that you know lanes in code. And after that, our lesson will be finished for the day.
So, you decided to take the IELTS exam. Congratulations! Success starts with IELTS. The speaking test is divided into 3 sections. Part 1 is the introduction and general questions. Part 2 is the long turn, and Part 3 is an analytical discussion. It's important to understand the criteria on which you will be tested in the IELTS exam. First, we consider the criteria of fluency and coherence. This is one of 4 criteria on which you will be tested. We'll cover the other 3 in later videos. Fluency and coherence refer to your ability to speak at length, including organizing ideas logically and appropriately signposting. It also refers to your ability to express and justify opinions and to discuss and speculate about issues without long pauses or repetition of the same words. Signposting is the use of words or phrases that indicate the direction of your thoughts. We will give you some examples of this in a moment. Many students try memorizing large portions of speech to repeat during the speaking test, but this can add unnecessary stress and sound unnatural. We don't recommend this approach. Here are a few tips to improve your speaking test performance. As you are speaking about a topic, build on your point of view by adding a few details. For example, if the question is, "What do you do?" rather than responding with, "I am a teacher," you might expand this to, "I have been a high school mathematics teacher in New York for over 5 years." For part 2 of the test, use the bullet points on the task card to help you structure your long turn and make notes in the 1 minute that's given using key words. In part 3 particularly, it is important to develop your answers and to speak at length. You can do this by thinking of reasons, effects, comparisons, supporting examples, and personal experience. Just make sure you are signposting what you say. For example, discussing excessive TV watching, you might mention reasons, increasing numbers of TV channels compared to a generation ago, and the popularity of TV characters. Effects, increasing obesity levels, eyesight problems, and other health issues. Experience, my nephew watches nothing except cartoons. He will not study. Here are some examples of signposting for part 3 of the test. Compare contrast. In my view, there are 2 main differences. Responding to a point. Yes, I agree because, or I'm not sure I agree with that. You see, speculating on the future. I think we'll probably see a lot of, or maybe there'll be more, or it's unlikely that we will have. Practice is the key to increasing your fluency. There are no shortcuts. Practice using English in everyday communication as much as you can. Record yourself talking about different subjects. Then play it back and listen for linking expressions, hesitation, words you may be repeating, and times when your speech is slow. This will help improve your fluency. The assessment criteria is the only thing on which you will be tested. You will not be assessed on your appearance, body language while speaking in the exam, or your creative ideas. IELTS examiners are very consistent with their application of the IELTS assessment criteria. It is the same assessment given everywhere in the country and everywhere in the world. For more information, please see the other speaking test videos, lexical resources, grammatical range and accuracy, and pronunciation.
Okay, dear viewers, you have noticed in the video the narrator has mentioned three other things. You'll not be given mark because of your appearance. So how smartly you dressed, suited, booted, whatever, they're not going to give you mark because it's not a job interview. Number two, you'll not be given marks for your creativity. That means you're trying to bring in new thoughts. You have been asked a question, but you're not answering it. Rather, you're telling something else. So that is your creativity of your thoughts, but you're not going to give, and you're not going to give in any mark for that. Okay, and the third number was, let me try to remember, what's the third number? Give me one moment, please.
Words you may be repeating, and times when your speech is slow. This will help improve your fluency. It's on your appearance, body language while speaking in the exam,
Body
or your
language.
creative ideas. IELTS
So you'll not be given the marks for your body language, creativity, or your appearance. So you got to be careful. If you are using body language, the examiner is not going to mark it. Okay, though sometimes body language is important while you're speaking, that's fine. Gesture we call it, but only body language is not worth of getting marks. So avoid using body language, creativity, and appearance. You are not going to be given any marks for these three. Okay, guys, thanks for watching. Once again, I'm going to start a public live stream in a moment when we finish this lesson for a short time because my next lesson is after 31 minutes. And thank you very much once again for joining here. It's really my pleasure to see silent watchers as usual. Thank you very much. I'll see you later, guys. You take care and practice every day. Okay. Thank you very much.